Yes. Hello, you're watching Wellness Watch on DD India, your weekly dose of wellness and good health. We all want a long life, but more importantly, a healthy one. Welcome to the show that cares for you. What happens when the one thing we need to feel better, that is sleep, becomes a constant battle? Ever wondered why your brain keeps racing when it should be shutting down for the night? We spend nearly a third of our lives sleeping, yet many of us take it for granted unless something goes wrong. For many, sleep disorders disrupt rest, leaving them wide awake when they should be dreaming. From insomnia to sleep apnea, from snoring to restless legs, these problems don't just keep us awake, they in fact impact our whole day. Today in Wellness Watch, we look for these unseen problems and understand how they can impact our bodies, minds and moods. Today, we discuss sleep disorders. I'm Preeti Kaur. Sleep, a natural process we often overlook, has quietly turned into a major public health challenge. In today's fast-paced, screen-driven world, quality sleep is slipping away for millions. What may start as a few restless nights can grow into a full-blown sleep disorder, affecting physical health, mental well-being, and daily performance. From children to the elderly, sleep disorders cut across age, gender, and lifestyle. We take a closer look at what sleep disorders are, who they affect, and how to get better sleep in this special report by DD India's Harshita Oberoi.
Sleep disorders are medical conditions that prevent the body from getting the rest it needs. They disturb how well you sleep, when you sleep, and how refreshed you feel on waking, often affecting daily functioning. There are many sleep disorders. The most common include insomnia, breathing related disorders like sleep apnea, movement related disorders, and conditions that disrupt the body's internal clock. Symptoms vary, but persistent tiredness, frequent awakenings, and trouble concentrating during the day are key warning signs that sleep may be seriously disturbed. Sleep needs differ across life stages. While adults function best with 7 to 9 hours, growing children and teenagers require longer sleep for healthy development. Sleep disorders may arise from illnesses, anxiety, or depression, irregular schedules, caffeine or alcohol use, or side effects of medicines. Risk increases with age, genetics, existing health problems, and lifestyle factors that disrupt the natural sleep wake cycle. Untreated sleep disorders affect safety, performance, and emotional health and raise the risk of serious long term medical conditions. Diagnosing sleep disorders may involve medical exams, sleep diaries, wearable monitors, and overnight sleep studies to track brain activity, breathing, and movement during sleep. Treatment depends on the condition: cognitive behavioral therapy, lifestyle changes, medications, breathing devices like CPAP for sleep apnea, and stress management techniques often work together to restore healthy sleep. Good sleep hygiene helps improve sleep quality and reduces the risk of developing sleep disorders. Avoiding stimulants and disruptive habits before bedtime allows the body to wind down naturally. Not all sleep disorders can be prevented, but healthy habits and early medical attention can greatly reduce risk and improve quality of life. If sleep doesn't refresh you, it's time to seek help because good health begins with good sleep. Harshita Obroy's report, Wellness Watch, DD India.
All right, so sleep helps your brain function properly. Not getting enough sleep or proper quality sleep has many potential consequences. Brain benefits from sleep, which improves memory, ideas, and concentration, whereas those who suffer from sleep debt function at only 80% of their capability. Chronic sleep deprivation is common in the modern society. People are working longer than ever and sleeping less. Studies show that 61% of urban population in India sleeps for less than 7 hours a day. On most adults, 7 to 8 hours are considered the right amount of sleep, but modern lifestyles and work pressures have shrunk this to abnormal levels. Today, we look forward in the show to these answers. Why is sleep important? What are the types of sleep disorders? Can sleep disorders be cured? What is a good sleep hygiene? And we also discuss the India context in this. In India, sleep disorder treatment involves a mix of lifestyle changes, sleep hygiene, routine, therapies like CBT, for insomnia, and medical advices such as CPAP machines for apnea, alongside medications, with options ranging from general hospitals to specialized sleep centers. Up on our screens, we have some hospitals and institutes that particularly cater to this. All Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, Safdarjung Hospital, Delhi, Sri Chitra Trinul Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology, Trivandrum, KEM Hospital, Mumbai, Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh. To help us understand sleep disorders better, we are joined in by specialists. We are joined in by Dr. G.C. Khilnani, Chairman, Institute of Pulmonary, Critical Care and Sleep Medicine. He's there with us in studio. And we're also joined in by Dr. Swasth, Professor, Department of Neurology, AIIMS, New Delhi. Yeah. He's virtually joining us. Thank you both of you for joining us this afternoon. Dr. Khilnani, to begin with, I would want you to explain to our viewers why is sleep important and what are the factors that affect our sleep?
Preeti, sleep is very important not only for human beings but for animals. Everybody sleeps, and we always say that, you know, when you have a normal sleep for 7 to 8 hours, you get up, say, oh, I had a very normal sleep, and you start feeling good. Now, sleep has, there are several phases of sleep. You know, the sleep is broadly divided into two parts, that is called NREM sleep and REM sleep. So, NREM sleep, the first phase of 5 minutes is the sort of superficial sleep when the patient can be aroused. The N2 phase is the most important phase, which is 40 to 50%, where rejuvenation takes place. Not only our hormonal rejuvenation, metabolic rejuvenation, our agility, that goes on for 40 to 50%, and third is the N3 phase, which is also a deep sleep. The REM sleep, what is called as rapid eye movement sleep, is about 20 to 30%. That is also most relaxing, where the heart rate fluctuates, the muscles get relaxed. That is the time we dream. So each cycle is about 90 to 120 hours, and on an average we have 4 to 5 cycles or 3 to 4 cycles in one night. Now, why it is important? Because it leads to rejuvenation of our body, our metabolism, our brain functioning, our endocrine function, also so many functions which are there. Now, consider that one is sleep deprived. In fact, the insomnia is the most common sleep disorder which is seen. If you are sleep deprived for one day or one time, you will feel groggy in the morning, your capacity to function will be poor. If you are prepared for the exam and you have not slept well, your functioning, your calculation ability also goes down. However, if the sleep is chronically deprived, then what is the chronically deprived? If somebody doesn't sleep well for 3 days in a week for a period of 3 months, that is called chronically deprived. In that case, the person is likely to have, besides poor functioning, he is likely to have hypertension, he is likely to have diabetes, he is likely to have obesity, he will eat more, he will have metabolic syndrome, heart attacks are more common, and quite importantly, even the chronic cognitive disorder like dementia and strokes are also more common. Summarizing it, that sleep is of paramount importance for all living people, human beings and animals. If we do not sleep well, our quality and longevity of life is affected.
All right, I'll take that forward to Dr. Srivastava. Dr. Srivastava, 7 to 8 hours of good sleep is what is required by the human beings. I would want you to explain to our viewers, 7 to 8 hours of sleep at a stretch, Or if a person sleeps for 4 hours during the night, and can that sleep deficit, can the person catch up with that sleep deficit during the day or on weekends? How is that to be understood?
Right. As you rightly said, 7 to 9 hours are required. And I remember in the beginning, you said that at least one third part of the day or one third part of the whole life, I will
Life,
say,
yes.
is meant for sleep. And you should be sleeping, because if you don't sleep, already pointed out by Dr. Khilani, that several disorders will occur. So it is suggested that you should have a 7 to 9 hours of a good sleep. And it is also suggested that sleep at one stretch is better than having like 4 hours and plus 3 hours, or 4 hours plus 4 hours. It is better to have a one stretch sleep of 7 to 8 hours. And it is also important to have a sleep at the same time. Like some people will say that today I slept at 10 p.m., tomorrow I slept at 2 a.m. So this is not the sleep which we desire. The timing of start of sleep has to be same on every day. Night, half an hour, 1 hour difference is okay, but not like sleeping at 10 a.m., sometimes sleeping at 2 a.m., sometimes sleeping at 10 p.m. This is not done. And this is the problem of current society, where people are unable to sleep because of their work stress or whatever kind of working they are having. There they have to work there at the time of the requirement in the institution, and then they are not able to sleep. The other thing which you asked was whether to you can compensate your sleep in a week. So this is again, if you are unable to sleep for 7 to 9 hours in a day, you must compensate it. And it is often done on Saturday and Sundays when people are at home. This is necessary because your body requires rest. If you don't take rest, it will not be functioning properly and will be leading to several problems like obesity, diabetes, depression, stroke, and other kind of heart diseases.
All right, Dr. Khilani, to what extent does screen time, caffeine, or the food intake, to what extent does that affect our sleep?
So, Preeti, I would like to tell whole thing about sleep hygiene. As Dr. Achal said, that sleeping from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning is not equal to sleeping from 3 in the morning to 11 o'clock or 12
Yes.
o'clock. This is our youngsters are doing. Secondly, that you and me and people in media, people in medical and also working for railways, they have night shifts.
Yes.
So it is recommended that in a month's time, there should not be more than 7 nights of duty, because more than that it will have the same problems as sleep deficit with hypertension and hair loss and diabetes and so on and so forth. But I would like to spend a couple of minutes on sleep hygiene, which is important, because sleep of every human being is in today's era is disrupted because of the laptop, WhatsApp and messaging,
yes.
television and all. And to consider the 200 years old when there was no electricity, it becomes dark, लालटेन बुझ जाएगा, आदमी सो जाएगा,
Yes.
कोई शोर नहीं होगा, and then he gets up when जब morning होती,
Yes.
those times have gone, lights are all over. So to have a good sleep, one thing is that you should have a relatively fixed hours of sleeping for a particular person. Somebody wants to sleep at from 11 to 6 or 11 to 7 or 10 to 5, which is fine, but you can't have a very variable time. Second thing is that after 5 o'clock in the evening, it is better not to take any caffeinated drink, something like
Right.
tea or coffee. It is better to avoid. It is good to have an early dinner, at least 3 hours before your proposed sleeping time. And after that, suppose your sleeping time is 11 o'clock, 1 hour before that you should stop watching any kind of screen, be it television, be it laptop, be it and you can read, you can have a stroll. Reading is the best before sleeping. And if you have a difficulty in going to sleep, there is nobody who doesn't have a disturbed sleep because of anxiety or pain or whatever sometime. And if somebody has slept for 3 hours in the afternoon, is likely to have difficulty in sleeping. But if all those factors are not there, and then if you have difficulty in sleeping, if you take a warm shower just before sleeping, and go to bed, immediately it's likely that you would sleep. Now, if you are unable to sleep for 10 minutes, what happens that those people who have insomnia, they get into the circular thing, "Arey, neend nahi aa rahi, I am unable to sleep," and they become restless. आपकी नींद कहीं नहीं जा रही, it won't go anywhere. Just lie down for 20-30 minutes. If you are unable to sleep, the worst thing you can do is to look at your mobile phone and look at answering your question. What you should do is that get up, if you can read, good, you have a small stroll, go back to sleep, your sleep would come. And few things I would say that people think that alcohol helps in sleeping. No. Alcohol will induce sleep, but the overall sleep gets disturbed. Smoking few hours should not be done few hours before. And one thing more, that youngsters, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, when they have finished with whatever the WhatsApp, or then they said that I'll go to gym now or do treadmill at home. That is the worst thing you can do for sleep. So now another type of sleep problem is that people get up in the middle of the night. They slept at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, नींद टूट जाती है. It happens to everybody. Now, in that case, you don't have to get perturbed. Just either you try to sleep. If you are going to the washroom, come back. Maybe you read something. Maybe you take a stroll and go back to sleep. More you worry about sleep, the sleep will be more disturbed. So if you follow this, and last thing I would like to say that I have so many patients who are taking sleeping pills for 20 years, 15 years. That is the worst thing you can do. The sleeping pills should be taken only under supervision of physician and for a brief periods of time, not more than 2 weeks.
So Dr. Khilnani explained to us the importance of sleep in a nutshell. But then Dr. Achal, I'll bring you here. Explain to our viewers what are the sleep disorders and which of these sleep disorders is the most harmful, the most severe one.
So the sleep disorders, common sleep disorders, I will say that one is insomnia, sleep apnea, narcolepsy, then we have parasomnias, and we also have circadian rhythm disorders. So if you ask me, out of all these, which is more dangerous, all are dangerous. And of course, this obstructive sleep apnea is very problematic and gives rise to many other diseases. Then parasomnias, you may harm yourself, like sleepwalking, you must have heard. So some people doing sleepwalking may harm themselves and others as well. And the regular problem is the circadian rhythm disorders, where people are having shift duties and having sleep onset problems, and then they try to sleep another time. So this is a very common thing these days, just because of duty schedules and other things. And narcolepsy, of course, a severe disease, but again, not that common. Commonest ones are insomnias, sleep apneas, and some of the circadian sleep disorders. These are common ones. So to avoid all these things, we have been pointing out that, and Dr. Khilnani also pointed out, that have a good sleep hygiene. This is very important. If you have a sleep hygiene, the sleep will come to yours by itself. Not like you don't need to bring the sleep. It will come by itself. Sometimes I tend to explain people that bakre ki amma kab tak khair manayegi. So sleep aayegi hi. You have to be there to sleep. And all those things which Dr. Khilnani pointed out very clearly, those things should be maintained not only by people who are having disease, rather other people as well who are not having sleep.
All right, sir, can sleep disorders be cured? One. And is there any particular age group that is more affected by sleep disorders? Do children also get sleep disorders? Dr. Achal.
Yes, of course, they do get, but not that common. Again, the things are different with children, and things are different with old age, and things are different with the normal adult people which we are discussing right now. So the younger people tend to sleep more, maybe 10 to 14 hours. Whereas if you talk of older people, they sleep lesser, 4 to 6 hours. And not only that, there are some of the genes which, if they are present, people are happy with good sleep, with lesser sleep. 3 to 4 hours sleep may be enough for them. But at the same time, from our side, the idea should be to have a sleep of 79 hours if you are an adult. And if you are a child, again, the smaller the child, it sleeps more. You must have seen the children who are born, they will sleep 20 hours, 22 hours. So similarly, as the age increases, somewhere 16 to 18-year age group, people will sleep around 8 to 10 hours, or maybe sometimes 12 hours. Not beyond that. Afterwards, the sleep is around 7 to 9 hours, which is required and should be taken. We should be doing all measures to have a good sleep, just to avoid all those problematic things which we have been talking about.
All right. Can sleep disorders be cured also?
Yes, of course, many of them will be cured. And again, I will say that lot of intervention and intent is required from the patients. Patients mean, I will not say just patients, individuals. The intent is required. If you don't want to sleep, you can't sleep. As Dr. Kilani pointed out, that sleep will come by itself. You just have to be there to sleep. So if you want to sleep, only then you can sleep. If you don't want to sleep because of duty or whatever, you can't be made to sleep. All right, that is very important. Again, some of the disorders like sleep apnea need sleep studies, and after that, accordingly, cure is suggested. And of course, most of the people are benefited, I will say, and also in long term, they are benefited by not having heart diseases, stroke, and other things. And other things like parasomnias, again, will require first sleep study, and followed by that, we do treatment as per requirement. There are several drugs which are used. Again, requirement varies from patient to patient. Restless leg syndrome, again, a very important entity. This is something that whenever you want to sleep, you will find that your legs, you are having some desire to move the legs, and you can't stop that desire. So that needs to be treated. Only then sleep will come. So there are several drugs, apart from starting from dopamine agonists to pregabalins and gabapentins. All those are required to be given to these people to avoid the restless leg symptoms, and so that they are able to have good sleep.
All right, Dr. Khilnani, you've talked of 7 to 8 hours of good sleep, and you've very, in detail explained to us sleep hygiene. But for a person, how long should it take to sleep once the person, hits the bed? How long should it take for a person to sleep?
Usually less than 30 minutes. Usually less than 30 minutes. But can I bring up an issue?
Yes, yes.
That is about you asked about common disorders, and one of the disorders which is plaguing our society is obstructive sleep apnea. And that is, after the insomnia, this is the most common disorder, and it is increasing because of the increasing obesity also. You must have heard people who snore, and in olden days we used to think that whosoever is snoring is sleeping well.
Yes.
घोड़े बेच के सो रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छी नींद सो रहे हैं. But what is obstructive sleep apnea? The obstructive sleep apnea is that if you want to create a noise from a bottle, you have to make it narrow. So when a person is snoring, that means his air is flowing into the lung with a narrowed passage. This is because of the relaxation of the muscles, because of his obesity, more fat in his throat, if I could say. And what happens that as his sleep gets deeper, the obstruction increases and ultimately it stops, what is called as choking. This happens several times in an hour, sometimes 60 times in an hour. The breathing slows down or it stopped, and it is called AHI, apnea hypopnea index. The result is that, suppose somebody puts hand on my face, I choke, I will wake up. So subconsciously this person is waking up several times, with the result, despite having slept for 7 to 8 hours, his sleep is insufficient. So he gets up groggy, and he is not fresh, he is heavy in the head, he wants coffee and tea, and daytime he keeps sleeping in the meeting or when he drives. In United States, the commonest cause of car accident is sleep apnea. It is important to talk about other symptoms of sleep apnea. There is a dryness of the mouth. Person gets up, he thinks that he has to go to the washroom. The mouth is totally dry. There is a jerky movement. The bed partner is very important. He or she notices that his breathing has become irregular, and there is something called witness choking. Now the sleep apnea is not a small thing. It leads to hypertension, it leads to diabetes, it leads to heart disease, it leads to dementia, it leads to stroke. So it is important to know these symptoms. If somebody is snoring aloud, if he has witnessed choking, if he is getting groggy in the morning, if he sleeps while driving, or if he sleeps during the meetings, he needs to
Take
to
care,
go to
more
the
care,
physician
yes.
for the
All right. At this point, Dr. Achal, when we talk of the India context with regard to sleep disorders, what is being done here in India when we talk of treating sleep disorders?
Yeah, as rightly pointed out and shown in the slides in the beginning, that there are several centers in the government and as well as private sector which are working in this field, and they are performing sleep studies, which is the most important thing. And the other important thing, which Dr. Khilani also has been pointing out, that we have to maintain the sleep hygiene, and that should be in an awareness program. It should be made available to people, and it is being done at our center at AIIMS Delhi. There are awareness program organized at least once to two times in a year, and also there are several other centers which have been working in Delhi. There are many of the private centers which are working on sleep disorders,
Yes.
and of course the government centers you have pointed out. One center again I will also point out, that is NIMHANS as well, also working in the field of sleep disorders.
All right. So, in a nutshell, we've discussed all important aspects of a good sleep and also the sleep disorders. We will have a quick mythbuster round. I'll ask you very quick myths, and I request you, both of you, to give very crisp answers. Dr. Khilani, the older you get, the less sleep you need. Is it so?
That's not correct.
Our body gets used to lack of sleep, Dr. Achal.
No, it is not like that.
Women and men have equal risk of insomnia, Dr. Khilani.
Yes, they have.
Insomnia is related to mental issues only, Dr. Achal.
No, there are several other things, not only mental issues.
Looking at an electronic gadget helps you fall asleep quickly, Dr. Khilani.
No, they are detrimental to our health.
And sleep disorders go away on their own over time, Dr. Achal.
No, not like that. Several of them require treatment. Of course, some of them, if sleep hygiene is maintained, they are managed.
All right, with this, we end this discussion here. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us and helping us understand sleep disorder and also the importance of sleep better. Thank you. All right, after this wholesome discussion, we did understand that rest is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Sleep is the foundation of our well-being, but when sleep disorders strike, the whole system can crumble. The importance of good sleep goes beyond just resting. It fuels our minds, bodies, and emotions. By making sleep a priority and addressing the issues that block it, we're not just fighting for better sleep, we are fighting for our better selves. We are not just aiming for a good night's rest, but a healthier and a happier life ahead. With that, we end this edition. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.